Okay, so today I'm going to be going over the SBAC Practice questions 3. This is the third practice that we've seen. I'm going to start with question 1. It says, consider a sequence whose first 5 terms are 4, 7, 12, 19, and 28. Which function with domain all integers n is greater than or equal to 1 could be used to define or continue this sequence? So if we think about what they're saying, what the domain is, they're saying it starts at 1. So this is the first term, second term, third term, fourth term, fifth term. So which one of these is the rule for this? So what I would do, because I have choices here, I would look and see if any of these fit it. So if I plug in the first term, I would have 10 plus 2 is 12, not 4. So it's not that one. If I plug in 1 here, 1 squared is 3, so it works for that one. Let's see if there's any other ones. 1 squared minus 3 is negative 2, doesn't work for that one. And if I plug in 1 here, I would get negative 20 divided by 2, and that does not give me 4. So this is it. Another way to think about it, when I think about the sequence, I always think squares, cubes, or geometric and arithmetic. And so if I looked at this, I would have thought, well, this is 2 squared, this is 3 squared minus 2. I would try to find some sort of pattern here. And then knowing that it starts with 1, I always think like 1 squared, well, I'd have to add 3 to get to 4. And then 2 squared is 4, and I'd have to add 3. And so when I see a pattern like that, I could think n squared plus 3. So see how it's the first term, second term, third term would be this one. So you can either, plug it in, or you can try to look at what the rules are for it. So look at question 2. Consider the sequence whose first 5 terms are 0, 7, 26, 63, and 24. And right off the bat, I don't see anything that's like screams out to me, except that I do know that 125 is 5 cubed. So this kind of looks like 5 cubed minus 1 to me. So then I check, is this one 63? Is 63 4 cubed minus 1? It is, because that's 64 minus 1. And then this one, I would have 3 cubed minus 1. So 27 minus 1 is 26. So I'm starting to see that pattern here. So I know that my answer is C. Okay, if that didn't quite make sense, then you go back to what we did the first time and you plug it in. We know that the domain starts with 1, so we plug in 1. 1 squared is 4. 2 squared, 4 plus, let me try that again. 1 squared plus 3 is 4. 2 squared plus 3 is 4 plus 3 is 7. Well, that's not the term or the sequence we have here. We have 0 then 7. So I know it's not that one. If I plug it in here, it doesn't work. If I plug it in here, it doesn't work. Okay. All right, number 3. Sabrina measures the total height of the water bucket, of the water in a bucket at different times during a rainfall. She displays her data using the graph shown. Select the conclusion that Sabrina can correctly make using this graph. So you look at this graph and let's decide which one of these is true. So it says the bucket is empty when Sabrina places it outside. So if this is the time, and these are the inches, right, because it says Sabrina measures the height of the water during different times. So let's see, if this is the height, right here at 0 time, it was at 1 inch. So was it empty when she placed it outside? No. For B, the height of the water in the bucket increases at a rate of 3 inches each hour. The height of the water in a bucket increases at a rate of 3 inches each hour. Well, after 10 minutes, it's not quite an inch, but after 20 minutes, it's gone up 1 inch. After 30 minutes, it's about 1.5 inches that it's increased. at 40 minutes, it's 2 inches. So let's look at an hour. Remember, an hour is 60, so at an hour, it's at 4, and it started at 1. Did it increase 3 inches at an hour? Yeah, it did. So B is correct. Let's see if C is. The height of the water in the bucket increases ½ inch every minute. Every minute, a ½ inch would be like up here, so that's not it, because this is 10 minutes and it still hasn't even gone up, or at 10 minutes it's gone up about a ½ inch. So it's not that. And then in the first 20 minutes, the height of the water increases by 2 inches. So at 20 minutes, it's at 2 inches. Did it increase by 2 inches? No, it actually just increased from 1 inch to 2 inch, which is only 1 inch. So if that said 1 inch, it would be true, but it doesn't, so it's not true. So the only conclusion she can draw here that is true is B. All right, let's look at 4 and 5. So 4 says, choose the domain for which the function is defined. Now, we need to remember a few things. So this right here, anytime I see a fraction, I should know that my denominator cannot equal 0. If x minus 3 equals 0, then I know that x cannot equal 3. So if x equaled 3, we would have 3 minus 3, which is 0. And you can't have anything divided by 0. That's undefined. So just based off of this, I know that it's not this and it's not this. So it's either going to be B or D. So when I see a radical, remember, you can't have a negative number in a radical. So what number would make this negative? So if I have x minus 2, and I need this to be greater than or equal to 0. So if I solve that, I have x, I add 2, so I have x is greater than or equal to 2. And it looks like I just found a typo I made. So this right here should be greater than. Right, if x is 3, or let's say 4. If x is 4, 4 minus 2, that's good. If x is 2 even, 2 minus 2 is 0, you can take the square root of 2. But if x is less than 2, let's say it's 1. 1 minus 2 is a negative number. That's not going to work. So D. D, and our sign should be greater than or equal to 2. All right, number 5. Select the correct domain and range for the function. So I have this function, and I like to think about this as a line. Let's say the line, let's look at this. Are there restrictions on what x and y can be? So x is my domain and y is my range. So it looks like x can be any number, and it looks like y can be any number. There's no number that it can't be. As x goes to infinity, y goes to infinity. As x goes to negative infinity, y goes to negative infinity. So it should be B, all real numbers and all real numbers. For 6, select the correct domain and range for this function. Now this function is actually an absolute value function. Okay, if I wanted to draw it accurately, I would have to find my vertex. So my vertex is -1, 0, and up to over 1, up to over 1. So here's what my function looks like. So for my domain, it looks like x can go to negative infinity, x can go to positive infinity. So my domain actually is still all real numbers. So it's not A, it's not C, so it's either B or D. Now for y, let's think about our y values. Here our y value is 0, because that's the point, -1, 0. And from there it just goes up, right? So we know that y has to be greater than or equal to 0. So that's D. Number 7 is very similar to number 6. The only difference is it's not a quadratic, it's not a absolute value function, it's actually a quadratic function, right? It's squares, that tells me it's a quadratic. So if I were to graph this, I should have a U-like figure. So let's look at our x. X can go all the way out to negative infinity and all the way out to positive infinity. So again, all real numbers, so it's either going to be A or B, and our range is my y values. So here my y value is 0 because I have a vertex of -1, 0, and again it's going up from here. So it's got to be y is greater than or equal to 0. Alright, number 8. This table shows the relationship between the rattlesnake population in Hemet and the time in years, since a researcher began tracking the rattlesnake population. So let's see, in year 0, so at the start of this research, there was 154. After 1 year, there was 174. After 2 years, there was 196, and so forth. So let's see which ones are true. The rattlesnake population increased the same amount each year. So it looks like they increased 20 here and increased 22 here. So already we can tell that that's false because it's not the same amount. Sorry for my typo there, there should be a space. Let's see the next one. It says the rattlesnake population is always increasing. So 154 does increase to 174, does increase, does increase, does. Yes, it is increasing all the time. That's true. Let's see. The greatest increase in bird population, that should be snake, population occurred between year 2 and year 3. So we need to figure out, let's see, this was 20, this was 22. We have to figure out in between each of these what our increase is and see if that's a true statement. So let's go ahead and do this. So we have from 222 to 196, it was 26. From 250 to 222, it was 28. So already if it's saying the greatest increase was between 2 and 3, that should be here, which we just said was 26. And we already have one that's greater, so we already know this is false. Alright, let's go ahead and do number 9. While at basketball practice, Jocelyn records the number of attempts it takes her to make B baskets. Her data is recorded in the table. So it took her 3 attempts to make 1 basket, 4 attempts to make 2 baskets, 8 attempts to make 3. After 10 attempts, she made 4. After 12 attempts, she made 5. Select the average number of attempts per basket it takes Jocelyn to make each of her first 4 baskets. Round to the nearest 10th. So we know that it took her 10 attempts in order to make the 4 baskets. So 10 divided by 4 is 2.5. So it's 2.5 attempts per basket. Now I want to point out that this is saying select the average number of attempts, and number 10 is going to ask us for the average rate of change. That's a little different here. So let's read number 10. At 6:30 a.m. the temperature is 1 degree Celsius, and at 9:30 a.m. the temperature is 13 degrees Celsius. Find the average rate of change in temperature. So if I take that it was y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which is our slope or our rate of change formula, I would have 13 minus 1 over the change in time was 6:30 to 9 or 9:30 to 6 was 3 hours. So I'd have 12 over 3, which would be 4. All right, for the remainder of these questions, these are ones that you've seen on the other two practices, or similar, I should say, to the other two practices. So I'm not going to go ahead and do these. I'm going to leave those for you to do. Good luck.